Hey, Sateniko here once again for Godlovescomics, and this is chapter 14 of Ode to Kirihito. If you've been reading or listening along so far, then you know that at the end of chapter 13, Osanai, Dr. Osanai, there was a tremendous tragedy when he was in Syria, and they were in a greedy sort of little village and had to do some unsavory things to try to get the money to get out of the village and even to just buy some water and food. And, of course, Reika ended up suffering some pretty tragic consequences. So this is chapter 14, and it is called Flash. Dr. Tatsaguara's presentation on Mon-Mal disease caused quite a sensation. It wasn't the terror of contagion, nor the lurid display of a Caucasian patient. It was the notion of atavism and the idea of the original sin. The hint of the mysterious force that could cause human beings, the masters of all creation, to regress into dogs and beasts. Some began to draw apocalyptic conclusions. They held that the end of the century would bring about a time of reckoning in which God would judge humankind. Was it a sign that man was on the brink of losing his humanity and plunging into the abyss? Soon records of Mon-Mal cases began to pour into Dr. Tatsaguara's mailbox from around the globe. Shockingly, there seemed to be victims in almost every country. In particular, there was a surge of reports from Christian nations. How many patients had been concealed in darkness out of the kind of diabolic compulsion, a 20th century witch hunt? In medical circles worldwide, particularly in the U.S., which was quick to react, scholars raced to gather data and learn more about the strange disease. Interestingly enough, there was quite a good deal of evidence in favor of Dr. Tatsaguara's theory. Researchers announced that they had isolated the pathogen, and yet none of the findings proved final. In fact, there were quite a number of groups who argued that Mon-Mal wasn't infectious. Dr. Tatsaguara was invited to speak at schools all over the world. Yoshinaga declined the offers, sending them copies of the doctor's report instead. He knew it was wiser for Tatsaguara to stay home and spend his time going over the mountains of reports that were accumulating. After all, preparing for the JMA elections was important. More important. More airmail? Where is this one from? Syria. How about that? It's from the Japanese embassy in Syria. What's it about? I bet I know. I bet you know. It seems a man with symptoms resembling Mon-Mal has been reported to a town called Kalabasra. We thought it best to advise you at first. He seemed to be a nomad, claims to be Japanese. We get letters like this by the bushel these days. Once the alleged patient turned out to be a bear. Director, here's this week's documents. Set them down over there, please. Yes, what is it? It's about Dr. Urabe. Is he quitting the medical department? Where'd you hear that? I just heard a rumor, but I heard he might leave on account of health issues. Well, in any case, I haven't been alerted. I'll decide whether or not he continues working here. It's just that first Dr. Osanai, now Dr. Urabe. If we keep losing our best doctors, it might hamper our work on Mon-Mal. Listen, Takagi. Dr. Urabe just pushed himself too hard. He needs a rest, of course. I hope he recovers soon. For now, though, I need you to hold down the fort. I'm counting on you, sport. And you might remember that Tatsaguara was drinking his fair share of wisdom water when he was having a headache, perhaps due to the stress of preparing his report, and how that's affecting him. We're not seeing it quite yet, but he doesn't seem to be quite himself. A moderate mental illness. How could it happen? That Urabe. When I found him that day in the guest room, tried to help him up, the look in his eyes chilled me to the core. When I secretly had him examined by Dr. Onigashira of the psych ward. Typical case of schizophrenia. He needs to be hospitalized. But Dr. Onigashira, we can't have that. You want me to admit him to M University Hospital? Like all of our doctors, he's the primary care physician for a good number of patients. Do you know what would happen if word got out, even a minor psychological problem? Yes, you'll need to reassign his patients. That's not the issue. I'm the one who'll be held responsible for having let such a man see patients. How will that make me look? What about the JMA elections? The chairmanship? What about my votes? Dr. Tatsaguara, I understand your situation, but the facts are the facts, and this man is a danger. It's our duty to isolate Dr. Urabe. If there is any way we can hide the fact that he's being treated for mental illness, please, doctor, I beg you, consider my situation. Fine, I'll have him transferred to the psychiatric ward of the Central Hospital. But I'm afraid I can't fudge my diagnosis. Isn't there something you can do, doctor? Couldn't you call it a case of autism brought on by severe neurosis? I can't lie on medical records, but if it means that much to you, I won't tell anyone about this case. But don't blame me if this blows up. Urabe, of course. One thing after another. You'll just have to come up with some credible medical condition and have him taken off the roster. Yes, but that's sure to arouse suspicion among the staff. But think of the timing. What will people say if they find out that a mentally ill doctor was seeing patients on your watch? We've got to put a lid on this, whatever it takes. I feel sorry for Dr. Urabe, but erasing him from the hospital's roster is the only way. What's this about a doctor? None of your business. Mentally ill doctor? Tut-tut. I suppose it happens. We've got to bury this one deep. Like we did with Osanai. That's right. We've got to keep this thing quiet, at least until the election's over. Of course, you'll have to call off his engagement to your daughter, eh? Of course. The very question. Poor Urabe. Man was truly my right hand. I was quite fond of him. He really worked hard on the Monmouth thing, too. He had a good head on his shoulders. That one a real gem. Now that I think of it, he was somewhat weird at times. I guess he was pretty fragile on the inside. Please excuse me while I call home. You know, sir, I often hear about taxi drivers who turn out to be mentally ill, but a doctor, that's a shocker. What if he pulled something funny with a patient or screwed up their medication? Of course, even if he did, he couldn't be held responsible, right? That applies to doctors too, doesn't it? Would you shut your mouth already? Dr. Tatsaguara, something terrible has happened. Dr. Urabe just came to the house and left with my daughter. What? He's escaped from Central Hospital? I told my wife to go after them right away. Of course. I didn't tell her about you-know-what. I didn't want her to panic. How did he sneak out of the hospital? Doctor, do you think she's in danger? I don't think so. I can't picture Urabe pulling anything funny. Oh dear. It's the Young Doctors Union protesting, and they've blocked traffic. And we cut to a bench in the evening, and there is Urabe with the daughter, Izumi. Listen, Izumi, about your plan. In the next few days, we'll arrange visas for Taiwan. We'll go there together, tell people we're going to celebrate our engagement or something. A man with a dog's face is bound to have left a trail. What if we find him, but we can't cure his condition? I'm sure I'll be able to cure it. How? You don't know what causes it. There's always cosmetic surgery. We can make him look human again. Dr. Urabe, wear your shoes. You're wearing slippers. Why, they're from Central Hospital. How odd. Odd indeed. I escaped from CH to come here. What did you just say? They've all ganged up and labeled me mentally ill. Locked me in the funny farm. But why? He grabs her arm forcefully and a little worrisome. I want to show you something. But it's in the middle of the night. I want to go home. We're almost there. It's my hideout. Nothing to worry about. Come on, don't be shy. It's just a small apartment littered with books and papers. It is indeed. A small apartment littered with books and papers. Locks the door. Why did you lock the door? I didn't. It locks on its own. Open it. I'm going home. It's a little late for that. Come look. These books will assuage your fears. See here? Please let me go. Jacobson, Columbia University reports 20 successful cases. Prosthetics were used to cater to the patient's wishes. The protuberant part of the cheekbones. Hello? Mother, it's me. I'm at Dr. Urabe's place. Tell Daddy to come pick me up. What? Daddy went looking for me with Dr. Tatsaguara? How long ago? What? Are you serious? But what? Yes? Mm-hmm. And now she's got the news that he's more than a little mental. The maxillomandibular resectioning is usually done to treat Krebs. The operation itself isn't difficult. Of course, with Krebs' cycle, the procedure is meaningless if the disease is metastasized. So it's preferable not to go into such extremes. Of the operations performed at Columbia, 2 were treating deformities. Look, this woman was severely deformed due to birth defect. It made her life miserable. This is a picture of her now. For Monmal patients, even if the disease has stopped progressing, it's probably not possible to restore the long bones. But surely their dog-like faces and mouths can be fixed. I find the records from the university hospitals at Columbia, Amsterdam, very encouraging. All we need to do is get Osanai back. No, that's not all. All we need now is to get Osanai back. No, that's not all. I almost forgot. Helen Freeze. I promised her. I told her I would turn her back into a normal woman. Yes! I intend to send her to the U.S. I'll go with her, of course, and attend the OP. I'll celebrate her recovery with her. I'm sure she'll be beautiful. Dr. Urabe, there's something important we need to discuss. I'm not sure how to say this, but My parents changed their mind about our engagement. They want to break it off. Oh. I suppose it can't be helped. After all, it was a farce to begin with. But now we don't have any excuse to go to Taiwan. Ah, yes, that is a problem. But there are still ways. And you'll no longer be able to treat Helen Freeze. You've been dismissed from the medical department. That can't be. It can't be. This may cause him to snap. Mother just got word from Dr. Tatsaguara. She says your name has been struck from the MUH roster. But that's not. I see this has to do with my being committed to Central. So they're having me pegged a mental patient? Dr. Tatsaguara is behind this? I can no longer examine Helen? I can't go see her? What on earth? What on earth am I to do? Dr. Tatsaguara, the mentor I've looked up to and revered, he did this to me. Dr. Tatsaguara did this to me. Any luck? No. Not this one either. Perhaps it's further on. I can't believe this. I'm the one who can't believe this. But my daughter's been kidnapped. This is a police matter. Police? You can't seriously. Of course, I wouldn't actually call the police. If we went and made a criminal issue of this now, all of our hard work would go right down the drain. That building! If only my wife had found the exact location when she spoke with Izumi on the phone. Uh-oh. And he's definitely having a mental break now. Let me go. No, don't look at me like that. More incredible panels from and pages from Tezuka. You know, the symbolism and the sort of surrealism in which he indicates mental illness, and then, you know, these assaults and rape. It's pretty incredible. What's taking so long? You still can't find Urabe's new address? Almost everyone had gone home, but I got it at last. This is it. Have some pity. Haven't you had your revenge? Revenge? You're trying to punish my father, aren't you? For what? Urabe, stay up there. We're coming up. Urabe! Izumi, what happened here? Where's Urabe? Daddy. What did he do to you? Izumi, this is all my fault. That's not the issue now. Where's Urabe? Where's he hiding? He just left. He got away? No. He escaped out the back exit. I see. This is incredible. You still want me to hide the truth from the police and the hospital? Is that how much you care about Dr. Tatsaguara's reputation, Daddy? You value it more than your own daughter? I'm sorry. Please don't be like that. I need you to be strong. This is hurting me too. If this gets out, there's no telling what the effect will have on the JMA election. Maybe you should quit pandering to that old fogey. That's quite enough out of you, young lady. Slap. This guy is quite the ass kisser and the careerist. It's not altogether bad, though. Tatsaguara is still sitting there stewing. Urabe's already escaped and back at the hospital. Wake up the patient in RM's in room 67. Have her get dressed. We need to leave immediately. You mean Helen freeze? Helen, I'm sorry to disturb you so late at night. I'm moving you to Ohu University Hospital. I'll explain on the train. Are you frightened? No, not if you're with me. You look pale, Doctor. Do I? Perhaps I should have a quick shot. Doctor, it's Director Tatsaguara. I won't take it. What? Tell him I won't speak with him. But it's the director. I said I won't speak with him. Urabe's at the hospital now. He's trying to run off with Helen. We've got to stop him. And that's the end. Relatively short chapter, 14. This is good. That helps me progress through this brutal reading. And this is chapter 15, Visions of Mary. Ohu University Department of Medicine. I've never seen a Mon-Mal patient before, Dr. Urabe. Will you conduct the surgery, Dr. Yamagata? Let's not be hasty now. You just arrived this morning. But you simply must agree. This patient is terribly important to me. I understand how you feel. Pardon? Oh, I see. I understand. Winter is on its way. Speaking of falling leaves, I hear the pollution is really rough on the trees in the big cities. We do have smog here sometimes from gas emissions and chimney smoke, but only for about 10 days out of the entire year. You could say we're provincial, but even a provincial university can hold its own in certain fields. Our plastic surgery department, for example. We're second to none, especially when it comes to facial surgery. I am fascinated by this patient of yours, Helen Freeze. As long as the deformation has run its course, the operation should succeed. Thank you. But only so long as there is no objection from M University. Dr. Urabe, I understand you brought the patient here without permission. That's correct. And there's more. You've been dismissed from the first department of internal medicine at MUH. But why? They said you have a health problem. But you don't look particularly ill to me. You called M University? I needed to at least confirm your identity with the hospital. They say you're a talented doctor who assisted Dr. Tatsaguara's research in Mon-Mal disease. Why would you bring your patient here without permission? I don't understand. Rest assured, I didn't tell them where I was calling from. Your secret is safe. It's true. I was dismissed from the medical department yesterday, but Helen was my patient. I wanted to follow through with her treatment. It's my duty as her doctor. I'm not turning you away, Dr. Urabe. Have a seat. There's another opportunist. I would be honored to undertake the first attempt at plastic surgery on a Mon-Mal patient. Moreover, I'm not persuaded by Dr. Tatsaguara's theory that Mon-Mal is a contagious disease. I know I shouldn't speak ill of your mentor, but I hope you'll forgive me since you're no longer employed there. I understand Dr. Tatsaguara is running for chairman of the JMA. I happen to be a supporter of his opponent, Dr. Togo Kurizumi of J University. To put it bluntly, I don't cotton to the snobby attitude of the city elitists like Dr. Tatsaguara. I wouldn't mind showing him a thing or two. about how we do things out here in the provinces. Don't worry. I'll do everything I can for your patient. Thank you, Doctor. Helen, he agreed to do the operation. I'm scared, Urabe. Don't be. I've done everything I can for you now, Helen. I want you to go be a beautiful woman again. Then you can go back to your country. Urabe, will I not see you again? I explained in the train, didn't I? I'm not your doctor anymore. I'm putting you in the care of Dr. Yamagata. But Urabe, I love you. Don't leave me. I genuinely loved you too. You loved me? You don't love me anymore? It's too late. If I stay with you any longer, I'll only make you unhappy. Why do you say that? Why? It's not true. I can't tell you. I'm just a hollow shell of life now. No. You're the one who saved me when I lost all hope. Whatever it is that's troubling you, I want to help you this time. Shoves her away. It's nothing. I just felt a bit dizzy. You must be tired. You'll come back, won't you? I'll let you know when the operation gets scheduled. Yes, I'll be picturing in my mind how beautiful you're going to be. Hello there, is everything okay? You should see a doctor. Leave me alone. I said leave me alone! Hey, what are you doing? Just looking over this cliff. Oh, you scared me there. Did I? How about this? Watch out! Thud. And he's been struck by a truck. Which he's... Dr. Yamagata, it's from M University. Who is it? Hello, Dr. Yamagata. This is Dr. Tatsaguara of Internal Medicine at M University. It is our mom patient in your care. This morning? Is that so? I'll send someone for her. I'm afraid that she's going into surgery this afternoon at the request of her attending physician. Attending physician? You mean Urabe? That's right. He requested the operation officially as her doctor. What does he know? He may be a brilliant man, but he's not fit to treat patients. That's why I fired him. See here, Dr. Yamagata. That Monmal patient is ineligible for plastic surgery. I'll tell you why. The disease progression, she's still undergoing deformation and bone stunting, if only slightly. And the focus is clearly located in the processus frontalis, maxillae. Get it? Her head is still changing. That makes a prosthetic jaw meaningless. It certainly does. That Urabe, ignoring such basic considerations. Asking you to perform such an operation. Do you know why? He's fallen in love with his patient. No. They say love is blind. Out of the blind desire to cure her face, he ignored all warnings and ran off with her. If you look at her chart, you'll see immediately that surgery is impossible. Now may I send someone to retrieve my patient? Dr. Yamagata, if that's the case, I have no choice. I have to have a long conversation with Dr. Urabe. Looks like it won't be necessary after all. Dr. Urabe's just been killed. Oh. He's been hit by a car. He died instantly. Urabe's dead? Urabe? Urabe's dead? Now my name's clear. He's gone. Not him. Passed on. No. Lord, have mercy. His body's in the forensics department. Would you like to see it? Please, leave me alone, please. Get the patient ready to return to M University Hospital. The surgery's been canceled. Too bad. This was our chance to put Ohu University on the map. Whoever wishes to come after me must deny himself, take up his cross and follow me, for whoever wishes to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will save it. What profit is there for one to gain the whole world and forfeit his life? What could one give in exchange for his life? Suicide, huh? Wonder what was troubling him. None of us truly understood him. In any case, we've lost two good men now. Oh, what is it, Helen? Please, stop the car. Let me out. What did you see? Someone with the same illness as mine. What? With Monmal? There are no Monmal cases out here. But I saw one. Look, this is a mining town slum. You mustn't wander around here. You'll pique people's curiosity and attract a crowd. Helen, freeze. Where are you going? What a handful. Helen, you're a patient. People are all watching because this is a very rural village and they're suspicious of any sort of strangers, of course, as they are in most rural villages. All beautifully drawn once again by Tezuka, of course. You want something? If so, come in and instead of peeping at the door. What's this? These people are rather deformed. Who are you and what do you want? Those hands. These? This here is a swelling disease. Been suffering from it for ages, ma'am. I saw you from outside. Oh, your hands too. This isn't Monmal disease? With the swelling disease, you just suffer and suffer until you die. I got it in my feet, too. Miss Helen, what now? Rickets? No, it looks like some kind of toxic bone disorder. It's the swelling disease. Could be Kashin-Beck disease. Kashin-Beck? Isn't that an endemic disease that's extremely rare in Japan? Recently, a small handful of cases have been diagnosed in the Tohoku region. Have you ever seen a doctor, ma'am? Oh, no, we couldn't afford a doctor, sir. The Tanaka boy down the way sees to all of us. But ain't no cure for the swelling disease, sir. There are others, too? Yes, sir. Why, just about everyone round here. You say it's incurable? That's right, you just endure the pain till you die. Is it very painful? Is it painful, she asked. Pains come when the seasons change, like you wouldn't believe. Hurts too much to walk or even sit. You'll just lie there suffering. You see people of all ages in this village suffering from the swelling disease. Oh, it hurts so bad. And again, faces of complete agony. This is appalling. I once walked through a town that suffered from Minamata disease. It was pervaded with the same feeling of hopelessness. It's even worse when you don't know what causes the condition. The cause of this disease is unknown. That's right, it's just like Monmouth in that way. Kashin-bek is very prevalent on the Asian continent, in China, Siberia. All we know is that the patients are deficient in a vitamin A, that they've drunk groundwater that has high levels of manganese acid. Groundwater? I drink groundwater too. Now that you mention it, there are some definite similarities, including the bone deformities. Tagaki, I think we're onto something. Please, Doc, would you be so kind to have a look at my son? Excuse me, Doctor. Doctor, my family. Just a moment. We're not here to make house calls. You'll have to see your local doctor. Come now, please. Don't be so hard-hearted. Please, Doctor. Doctor. I'd love to help you. With our current medical system, it's impossible. Not without a special subsidy of some kind. Anyway. A not-so-subtle critique of Japanese healthcare, which we have far worse than the United States. Look at all these people. This is getting out of hand. We better make a run for it. Miss Helen. Miss Helen. We better go. There's no end to this. Run away and abandon these sick people? But you're a doctor. There's nothing we can do. It's incurable. Our job is to escort you back to M University. Nothing you can do. So you'll just shunt these people off like rubbish? This isn't our responsibility. You said the sickness resembled Monmouth. You handle Monmouth patients with kid gloves. You've no interest in these people? It's not really like that. Who will care for these people if you don't? That isn't our affair. I'm staying here. Everybody's shocked, including the villagers. I did some rudimentary nursing back in Africa. If nothing else, I can bring them cheer. I'm staying. Ridiculous. They need a medical specialist. We can send one from M University. I believe it wasn't just the chance that led me to these people. I have a duty to perform here. Great. What now, Tagaki? Please, think of our position. Tell your director this. Helen found something more meaningful to do with her life than being a medical specimen at M University. I believe he'll understand. Please, listen everyone. I will remain here to take care of all of you. I don't need any payment. I only ask one thing. Don't be frightened when you see my face. I'm a human being. There is absolutely nothing to fear. Helen, you mustn't show them. Don't take your hat off. Ah! A fox woman! Very superstitious locals are not going to cotton too well to this. I'm not a fox, I'm a human being. Clack. Pebble hits her in the head, and she's still brave enough to stay. Goodbye, and thank you for your assistance. Give my regards to the director. Helen, freeze! And she wanders off down the path in a rural village where no one knows her, no one trusts her, and people are completely freaked out by her. She's a brave woman. Chapter 16, The Journey Home. And this should be a chapter with Dr. Osanai again, who was last seen in Syria, even though he should be quite heartbroken. Again, beautiful perspective shot, beautiful background, beautiful perspective, and bicycle just riding across the desert. And fantastic illustration of all these people. Kind of a waiting room for Dr. Osanai now. Dr. Dog. Hey, where's Dr. Dog? Give him this. It's about Japan. And there's a picture in it that looks like him. This is a medical book. Don't tear it now. Give it to the doctor. He'll need the shots for 4 or 5 more days. If his fever goes up, give him these. Dr. Dog. I've told you 100 times I'm not a dog, I'm a human being. You're my assistant. If you don't address me properly, who will? Dr. Osanai. It's just that your Japanese name is so hard to say. You have a delivery from Ruka. Time for lunch. Rest of you will have to wait until after I've eaten. Nobody calls you Dr. Dog out of disrespect, sir. Everyone here reveres you. Of course, people are startled the first time they see you. They're afraid you might bite or something, but you're a kind man and we need a doctor here. We don't care how you look. What is it? Another dog-faced man? There was a medical conference in Japan. This is a record of a presentation my mentor gave. The director knew. He knew I'd gotten Monmouth. He turned a blind eye and left me there to rot. He even knew that I was locked up by Mon in Taiwan, and that I attacked him. And Mon got Monmouth and died. They claim I infected him with a pathogen. I didn't infect him. Monmouth isn't contagious. If Dr. Tatsaguara knew what was happening to me the whole time, why didn't he come to my aid? Why? Meanwhile, he's had my name taken off the hospital roster. Is this what it looks like? The doctor's still busy? I really needed to see him. I'm traveled 500 kilometers to get here. Been waiting since last night. Hey, Ollie, what's with the doctor's face anyway? I never ask. He gets awful sad if you ask him about it. I bet it's a long story. But he's definitely a learned man. He even speaks German. And his services are practically free. For poor folks like us, he's a real godsend. Doctor, the patients are waiting. Doctor? Doctor? Dr. Osanai? Doctor, what? I'm going back to Japan right away. A little bit of shock, slapstick humor. Tumbles down these stairs. Dr. Dog's gone mad. His dog instincts have taken over. He bit me. Uh-oh, they could turn on him in a hurry. What about my exam? Forget it. Get out of here unless you don't want to get injured. Or worse. He's coming out. Everybody's running, scrambling. Not having a mental break like Urabe did, but simply just incredibly depressed and defeated by the fact that Tatsaguara obviously betrayed him. Tatsaguara. Tatsaguara was such a fool. So you see my true colors now. That's right. I'm a mad dog. Go ahead and put me to death. Go ahead and bury me. Instead, they put him in a bed. Are they having a village meeting? Yes. Deciding what to do with me. We're done deliberating. When I stopped playing the doctor and revealed myself as a canine monster, why didn't you shoot me on the spot? Why would we dream of such a thing? Sir, even if you went crazy, even if you killed someone, we would never blame you. We need you, Doctor. I'm sorry. I can't go anywhere looking like this. Even if I did go back to Japan, I'd be quarantined immediately and denied entry. In other words, I have nowhere to go. It's nice for me here. I can work and my face isn't an issue. So I've made my home here. Stray dog that I am. If you make me leave, I won't be able to go on living. You mustn't deceive yourself, Doctor. Take this money. We've gathered it, coin by coin, from all of the people you've helped. That should cover your travel cost. We've talked it over and we agreed that you should go to Japan. I can't accept this. I have money of my own. But Doctor, it's a token of our esteem. In exchange, we ask that when you finish your business in Japan, you kindly consider returning to our village. This area is inhabited by refugees. We hardly receive any government aid. If you leave, we'll probably never get a new doctor to come out here. Well, the hopeful, kind faces, and a few crazy faces as well. Look at this old man. He walked barefoot for 3 whole days across the desert to see you, sir. We all depend on you. He donated 2 copper coins. Everyone supports your journey home. Sir, the village would provide you with horses to travel to Aleppo. From there, you can get on a bus to Lakasia port. Ali will accompany you. I have a friend who's captain of a freight ship. Ali will bargain for you. We want you to go. The horses are right here. I promise to return. I swear it before your God. Hooray! Everybody's cheering. Take care, Doctor. Here's a good luck charm. Take this canteen. Hip hop hooray. Hip hip hooray. When he first arrived with Reika, he was in a certain village in Syria, and everybody was very greedy and mean-spirited, but obviously he found the poor people who really needed him and cared about him, and saw a completely different side. But now he's riding, and his obsession and his rage is directed at Tatsaguara. Doctor. Oh, Osanai, don't look so angry. Your eyes look like the eyes of a demon or a devil. I'm sorry. Beautiful full page, even though it's just a very stark, barren, rocky desert. But I love how sort of detailed all of the stippling of the desert is, and then he's drawn the horses and the figures so incredibly simply, almost very cartoony, in contrast to the heavily rendered background. Oops, I need to see that. Another short chapter. Chapter 17, Encounters, Part 1. You call yourself members of this department? I asked you to assume responsibility for the patient in M University. You say you left her in some village? Even a child wouldn't make such a lame excuse. Just what do you intend to do about this? We could petition the local clinic or police to ask them to take her into custody. Idiots! You want to escalate things further? Do you realize how hard I've been working to keep all of these scandals under wraps? All of these scandals. But I don't think having Helen Freeze taken into custody would affect your reputation, Doctor. You clearly don't realize how persistent the Young Doctors League has become. If word got out about Urabe kidnapping a patient and committing suicide, and about Helen Free's flight, they'd be licking their chops and slavering to find more. They want to sabotage my campaign for chairman of the JMA. No, they're trying to take down the entire JMA. Doctor, you have a phone call from a Mr. Yoshinaga? Tell him to wait. There's more. Dr. Yamagata, who helped Urabe as a Kurizumi supporter. He's a real strategist. If this thing blows up, there's no telling what plots he might hatch. To wangle more votes for Kurizumi. I understand how you feel, sir. We need to keep things under wraps until the election. That's right, 10 more days. For the next 10 days, 2 of us will take turns monitoring Helen. We'll make sure that her whereabouts aren't exposed. Fine. That'll do for the time being. But I won't classify it as a business trip. One more screw-up like this in your history. Hello, Mr. Yoshinaga. Sorry to keep you waiting. What's the story? Third computer tally is in. You have 42% of the votes of the delegates. Still not a majority. What about Kurizumi? He's catching up. He's leading in the Tohaku region. He's at 35%, 2 points up from the last tally. Forensics professor Dr. Sakaguchi has 8%. Cancer authority Dr. Inui has 6%. They're no threat. The real race is between you and Dr. Kurizumi. The suspense is killing me. Leave it to me. If nothing goes wrong, I'm sure we can carry off about 50% of the votes. I'm pouring it on to sway the swings voters. Funny you should mention something going wrong. Wait, what? Don't scare me. It's fine, I already took care of it. How can so many things go wrong right at this crucial time? Chick. Speaking of things going wrong, here's the town snitch. May I help you? My daughter, she's not in. Every time I come by, she's out. Who the hell are you? Wait, are you the one who threatened my wife and tried to catch money from her? She told me about you. Yes, that's me. I'm sure you're a more sensible person than your wife. I've got some info, you know. It's about your daughter, that Dr. Urabe. Uh-oh. Dr. Urabe is dead. What of it? He's dead? Kick the bucket, eh? That's a surprise. I guess my dirt's no good. Your dirt? Your daughter and the doctor cooked up a phony engagement so they could go to Taiwan to look for the dog man. What? Dog man? A man with the face of a dog. His name's Dr. Osanai. Izumi searched for Osanai in Taiwan? What's this all about? I don't understand at all. Sounds like I know more about the situation than any of you, sir. Truth is, sir, I've played a part in this little drama myself. You don't say. It was a year ago. A couple was riding down from Doggadale in a cart. Lady was a real looker, sir. Met a dog man down in Shikoku. Don't know what came over me, but when that woman was alone, I had to have her. And her husband came down and tried to strangle me. His face was what really got me. It was a dog face, pure and simple. I hightailed it out of there at top speed. How do you know it's Dr. Osanai? When he stayed at the inn at the Zabu Springs, he wrote the name Osanai on the registry. Tell me, sir, wouldn't it be awkward for you folks if I came clean to the cops about all this? As if the police would believe you. Am I right? If you have proof, go ahead and show me. I'll buy it from you. You don't have any proof? They'll just turn you away as a racketeer. Fine. If you want proof, I'll go find some. When I do, don't lose your cool on me, mister. It's the forest. And the river that is the source of all of this commotion. Old man's just like his daughter. So he wants to play hardball. If I do find some proof, he'll come up with 2 or 3 big ones. If I can just get the registry from that inn. Even if I can't, there are other ways. Zabu Hot Springs. What? You're... Those eyes! It's him, wait! Nice sort of classic storytelling in comic form. Chase scene. Really well done again. Bring it on. I refuse to be eaten by a mountain dog. This is for Tazu. What? My wife. I know you remember. You murdered her just uphill from here. You raped her and strangled her. I don't know what you're talking about. I have 3 items of unfinished business to see to in Japan. One is revenge on Dr. Tatsaguara. One is to visit Tazu's grave, and one is to track down her killer and make him pay for the crime. That's why I was headed for Doggadale. What luck finding you here like this. I don't know anything. I didn't kill anyone. Then why did you run? You recognize my face. Besides, your ugly mug is etched into my memory. And he runs again. Suffer. As he chokes and strangles him. Tazu suffered worse. Die. Just dragging him right past the temple. Or the monastery. Do you remember me, sir? Yes, you're the badger that brought the woman of the body. Badger. That's not kind. Would you show me where her tomb is? I performed her rites, but it weighed on me somewhat that she had obviously died an unusual death. I brought the man who killed her. Huh? Here he is. Tazu. Tazu, everywhere I went, everything I did, I never forgot you. As long as I may live, I'll never find a wife like you. Again. Wife? Alright, you. Apologize to my wife. Sir, I'll leave this man at your disposal. But what should I do with him? Make him confess. Have the police come for him. Whatever you want, I'm through with him. Please use this to tend her grave. What is it? The mayor is busy. Some big shot from a university is here. Says it's to give this to the mayor. I need to speak with you in secret immediately about the Osanai deal. T. I'll be back. This is probably a setup from Osanai. We'll see. Doctor? Dr. Tatsaguara, it's me. This is very sudden. Doctor? Oh. Dr. Osanai, help! There was an error in the note. Should have read, I need to speak with you in secret immediately about the Tatsaguara deal. Oh. Was it all planned out from the very beginning, Mayor? No. I already know everything, Mayor. You're only hurting yourself by lying. I don't know anything. I wasn't involved. Help, somebody! Ooh. It's like he just put a pitchfork with the mayor's one of his legs. Maybe not. Maybe he just stopped it. I think you see now that I'm serious. If you value your life, you'll confess everything into this tape recorder. When old man Yokota was hospitalized for you-know-what, Dr. Tatsaguara proposed a secret arrangement. Said he wanted to send a doctor named Osanai to my village, a man who was smart, but idealistic, an unbalanced guy. Yes, unbalanced was the word he used. He told me not to let you leave the village, to watch over you and report everything you did. And that if I could, I should expose you to you-know-what. Of course I said no. I told him that no matter how much he paid, I couldn't do such a thing, not even for a benefactor like Dr. Tatsaguara. He offered you money? Yes. Dr. Tatsaguara offered to donate 3 million yen out of his pocket to Doggadale. Public welfare, he said. And... Doctor, we're a poor village. When I saw all that money in front of me, I had no choice but to accept. When was this? This was 2 months before you came. So you purposely exposed me to Tazu's father? Yes. Did Tatsaguara order that too? What happened after I left the village? I sent every last one of your documents to Dr. Tatsaguara. He was so angry that I'd let you leave the village. He really let me have it. Said that if I'd just keep you here, you would have croaked eventually. It wasn't me who said it, Doctor. Get lost. If you want to contact Tatsaguara, go ahead. Let him stew in his juices a bit. Tatsaguara, you completely destroyed me, you bastard. Before I come see you, I'll dig up enough evidence to bury you. While you're waiting, I hope the suspense drives you insane. And a man coming to the hot springs gets quite a shock. Yipes! What a scare! There's a dog in the bath. I'm not a dog. I'm a person. I'm sorry I scared you. I have Monmouth disease. Monmouth disease? Oh, right. I read about that in the tabloids. It's catching, right? Get back. Stay away from me. Monmouth disease isn't contagious. The Weekly said it was. If it spread that easily, we'd have hordes of people with faces like mine all over the country by now, wouldn't we? I'm already over the disease, but my face can't be fixed. So, do you know the dog lady of Magata? Magata? Dog lady? When my boss went to Magata City on business, he says he saw her in the slums there. A foreign lady with a face like a fox. They say she's a nun at some tiny little church, and she's extremely popular. She's got all kinds of followers. They say she had Monmouth too. That she felt that she knew what it was like to suffer. Is there a church in this area? Whoa. Well, there's the doctors. The young doctors. That was Dr. Osanai! Dr. Osanai! Dr. Osanai, please wait. It's me, Tagaki. I'm sure it was him. So he did contract Monmouth. This is bizarre. I have to get a hold of him and talk. Dr. Osanai! Should we call the hospital? No, let's make sure first. Who are you? Two central characters meet for the first time. You must be the Monmouth nun. Yes, are you afflicted too? I came here to speak to you. Why aren't you in the hospital? Why aren't you? Well, there's the Catholic Church. Heard all about you from Dr. Urabe. It's a miracle that I'm finally meeting you. Dr. Urabe dead? I had no idea. The Lord summoned him a month ago. He was a good man. When he learned you had Monmouth, he tried his best to find you. Helen, don't you lose the will to continue. Doing this thankless work, how on earth do you find joy in living? Of course, I felt that way many times, but I'm satisfied here. But why? I feel at home here. I have work to do. The townspeople built this church for me. You're in denial. How could that heal the wound in your heart? Wound in my heart? What person doesn't have one? Here there are many who suffer far worse than we. There can't be. As they never stop being human, no matter what befalls them. Human beings, however, go on, ever which way they can. When a person becomes a dog, we may try to act human, but we're given the life of a dog. How can anyone understand what we suffer? I know it's pointless to say this, but I think you're deceiving yourself. If you claim to be satisfied, you've given up on being human. Follow me, Doctor. There's an infirmary here, in the back. It's already full, so we'll have to add on to it soon. What is this? Some kind of pollution-related condition? Dr. Tagaki called it Cash-and-Beck. The health center doesn't seem to really know. This is Cash-and-Beck? Helen, it hurts. Helen, Helen, help me. Helen, Helen, please, water. Helen, 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 please help me, Helen. Well, she certainly found a place where they need her. You care for these people every day? Why? I have to. Out of the sympathy for patients suffering from a similar condition? Or is this the famous Christian humanitarianism? Shush. Don't talk like that. We still don't know what causes Kashin-Beck, so there's no way to treat the disease at its source. Your efforts will never be rewarded. You'll only continue to suffer. How do you know they won't get better? Patients haven't given up. That's why they need encouragement. It's no use. Doctor, do you believe that Manmao is incurable too? These are things that only God knows. God. God doesn't exist. At least there's no God that can save the man who's become a dog. Sort of incredible Renaissance and medieval sort of symbology. Demons. Angels. I'm sorry, that was wrong of me. I forgot this was a church. I didn't come here to curse this place. I just wanted to know what your outlook on life was. Are you going back to the hospital, Doctor? No, I'll be leaving Japan soon. I have patients waiting for my return. See, in his own way, he's doing basically the same thing. He's helping the needy, basically for nothing, for free. They're probably not nearly in as bad a shape as the people that Helen is helping, but of course they're incredibly needy as well, so they're both doing the same thing. Seeing how the sick here love you made me remember that I have work to do too. Goodbye. We'll probably never meet again. Take care. You too, Helen. Very silent, contemplative panels. And the sky sort of opened up. Dr. Osanai! Doctor! He's gone. Tomorrow's the big day, Tatsaguara. Any doubts surface during your campaign? All we can do now is wait. Seems the real race is between you and Dr. Kurizumi. Well, there's really no knowing. Suppose either you or Dr. Kurizumi will have to take over this huge mountain of paperwork. There's piles of it, about medical costs and other matters. I envied you, Dr. Tatsaguara. Whenever I heard about the Manmao research on previously unknown disease, I felt pathetic, always wrapped up in political maneuvering and negotiating, even though it was my job. Of course, there's nothing wrong with being doctors, with doctors being politicians. But it's a shame that men with impressive scholarly achievements like you and Dr. Kurizumi need to give it all up for politics. As far as Manmao goes, the young folk will have a chance to run with the ball now. It's fine for a doctor like me with no special talents to spend all of his time organizing meetings and conferring about this and that, but you're different. This job can be quite taxing psychologically. For one thing, the union has no idea how things really work, and the council members all want to do everything their way. Chairman, it sounds like you think I'd be better off shut up in a laboratory until the end of my days. Of course, a doctor can't always stay in his ivory tower. What's wrong, Doctor? What's wrong, Dr. Tatsaguara? Dr. Tatsaguara! It hurts unbearably. Bring a painkiller. No, I'm fine now, thank you. These days my nerves seem to be somewhat weak. I get these sudden headaches. It's fine now. I'm deeply sorry for that unsightly display. Do get some rest, Doctor. Your health is important. How can I sleep at a time like this? Ugh. Still hurting? Quick, into the car. Take us home immediately. Hey. A werewolf! He just walks away. And that's the end of another short chapter. And chapter 18 encounters part 2. We're reaching the conclusion, slowly but surely. Hello there, good morning. Why didn't you wake me? What time is it? It's 1:30. You've slept almost the whole day. I'm sure you had a lot to catch up on. This is no time for that. What about the vote? It starts at 2 o'clock. Delegates from all over Japan are probably gathering in the meeting room right about now. How are things looking? In the most recent computer count, Kurizumi's fallen behind and you're in good shape, as long as nothing untoward happens. This election is a sure thing. I hope so. Something untoward is heading your way. The votes for chairman will now be cast by the delegates from each prefectural electorate. When your name is called, please bring your completed ballot to the ballot box on the platform. JMA chairman elections take place every other year. Rather than have all 100,000 members vote, a two-tier process is conducted in which 200 delegates play a role. First, a delegate is chosen for every 500 doctors. That delegate is vested with the authority to vote for the chairman. The election literally determines who will serve as the commander-in-chief for all of Japan's doctors. They're all walking by quietly, dropping in their paper ballots. Ballot, ballot, ballot. Wait just a moment, everyone. And startled faces everywhere. Please excuse the sudden interruption. Whether or not you have already placed your vote, I ask that you hear what I have to say just for 5 minutes. It's a Monmouth patient. That's right. My case erupted a year ago during field work. Later, the symptoms subsided and left me like this. My name is Osanai. I used to work for the first department of internal medicine at M University Hospital. Osanai? It's me, Yano. We went to college together. You're the Secretary General? Will you grant me this opportunity? Go ahead. Gentlemen, Monmouth is not an infectious disease. Last fall, before I developed the disease, I submitted a report to Dr. Tatsaguara contending that Monmouth was a localized condition. Later, when I conducted an on-site investigation, it became clear that my hypothesis had been correct, but the records were wiped out. Why? I don't know why. Beyond that, without my knowledge, my name was stricken from the hospital roster. What? And you already had? I did. I found myself unable to return to M University. The presentation Dr. Tatsaguara made at the GMC that Monmouth is a virus was absolutely deceptive and self-serving. Because my hypothesis stood in his way, Dr. Tatsaguara attempted to rub it out by getting rid of me. What proof do you have? This is a confession by the mayor of the village where I developed Manmao. Let's hear it. When old man Yokota was hospitalized for you-know-what, Dr. Tatsaguara proposed a secret arrangement. Said he wanted to send a doctor named Osanai to my village, a man who was smart but idealistic, an unbalanced guy. He told me not to let you ever leave the village, to watch over you and report everything that you did, and that if I could, I should expose you to you-know-what. Of course, I said no. I told him no matter how much he paid, I couldn't do such a thing, not even for a benefactor like Dr. Tatsaguara. We're a poor village. When I saw that money in front of me, I had no choice but to accept. This was 2 months before you came. Have you heard enough? This is a complete transcript of the conversation. I also have this. It's a report by my late colleague, Dr. Urabe. It contains evidence that Manmao is an endemic disease, but Dr. Tatsaguara chose to ignore even this. I'll submit it to the committee along with my report. I pray that it helps Dr. Urabe's spirit rest in peace. I must leave the decision to all of you. Whether to elect Dr. Tatsaguara as chairman. I do apologize for interrupting important business. Thank you. Dr. Osanai, please wait. Doctor, we have a lot of questions we'd like to ask you. If you could wait. My business here is done. Please allow me to take my leave. Quiet, gentlemen, quiet! Let's get on with the voting. Wait, I need to make a change. Me too. When I showed myself to that group of people, I felt like my face was burning up. But at least I may have succeeded in foiling Tatsaguara's designs. A lot of new ballots. The votes are all in. We will now tally the votes in a separate chamber. Please take a 1-hour recess. This is Yoshinaga. Are the results still not in? What did you say? Of all the... What's wrong? Dr. Osanai. Dr. Osanai? Dr. Osanai what? Where is he? He showed up at the JMA. JM... Say that again. Dr. Osanai appeared at the JMA just now and interrupted the voting. He told them what happened in Dogadale. Is that true? Osanai's back in Japan. I didn't know he was still alive. I was a fool. I was such an idiot. How could I be so careless? Yoshinaga, help me, I beg you. What should I do? I'll never be able to show my face again. I'll be sued. I'm done for. If he told them about what I did, he knows everything. That's why he showed up on election day. Well, they're afraid to answer the phone. It's him. Yoshinaga, will you please get that? Hello, this is Yoshinaga. This is the Election Oversight Committee. Dr. Tatsaguara has been elected chairman. It was a close race, but he beat Dr. Kurizumi by 3 votes. Congratulations. Wow, that's a shocking twist. Doctor, you did it! Yes! You've been elected the new chairman. I have? I won? Are you sure? Oh, I've waited so long for this day. Thank you, Mr. Yoshinaga. Thank you for everything. This is it. Dr. Osanai can't touch you now. Dr. Tatsaguara! Congratulations, Doctor. Just as we expected, sir. Sure had me worried. We better get over to the assembly hall. You can hold your head high now. No need to sweat over the petty little maneuvers by your enemies. Bring the car around. Hooray for Tatsaguara! Banzai! 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 Izumi! Don't just stand there staring off into space. We'll be busy tonight. There will be VIPs from the JMA here tonight, and men from the campaign team too. We need to order 3 sea brim and beer, 3 dozen bottles. This is a big day, Izumi. Stop looking so sullen. Dear Izumi, I'd very much like to speak with you. Please wait for my call at 3 at the phone in the back room of the dry goods store on the corner. K. K? Excuse me, I'm here about the phone call. Ah, yes, Miss Yoshinaga. I understand. Please come in. Clock strikes 3. Or the watch. Phone rings. Hello? Oh, Kirihito. Kirihito, is this really you? Is it? It's your voice. It hasn't changed at all. You're alright. I'm so glad. Where are you? Where are you calling from? I can't tell you. I can't see you again. Because of your face? I don't care one whit about your face. I want to see you. I want to see you so badly. Tell me where you are. Listen to me, Izumi. Listen closely. I'll be gone again soon. I have to go back to a place that's far away. I returned to Japan to get back at the people who destroyed me. I'm not the man I used to be. I really can't see you again. I only wanted to hear your voice. Don't go, no matter how you look, no matter what kind of face you have. I love you. I love you too. No, I loved you. What? Izumi, I've already taken a wife. A wife. That's right. Her name is Tazu. A dead wife. Why? It would be making excuses. I'm sorry to call it fate. It was something I had to do. And this wife of yours? Yes, she's very good to me. You see now, don't you? You must forgive me. We must live in separate worlds. I'm terribly sorry. Kirihito. Just one last kiss. And in the silhouette, she kisses the phone receiver. Back when phones were rotary phones like this. And he's right across the street. She walks out very solemnly. Congratulations, Doctor. Dr. Tatsaguara, congratulations on your chairmanship. Doctor. Isn't it great, Doctor? Boss, the press is here in swarms. Please raise your head slightly. What are your plans as the new chairman? Your opinions on the medical system? Sir, could you comment on the rumors that the Young Doctors League attempted to bring down your campaign for the chairman of the JMA? Ha ha ha. Fruitless, of course. But I would like to work things out with them. May I ask one more thing? Understand that a Monmouth patient crashed the elections and made a speech against you. Yes, so I hear. They say he was a former member of your staff called Dr. Osanai. That's what I hear. He was missing for a long time. Apparently he had a lot of very critical things to say about you. All totally bogus. In fact, that man caused me a great deal of trouble by disappearing all of a sudden without submitting his report on Monmouth disease. We struck him from the roster because we lost all contact with him. But according to his story, you ignored his report on Monmouth. Have you seen this report? No, the office refuses to release it until they've finished investigating. Both the report and the tape are completely off limits. Tape? Yes, the testimony from the mayor of the village Monmouth came from. Sounds like a waste of time. So in any case, you're not concerned. Kirihito Osanai? He could show up sniffling and whining at this late date, but I refuse to be daunted. I can snuff this thing out in nothing flat. Summon all the staff. I'd like to go over some housekeeping issues. Soon I'll bid farewell to this chair, where I sat for so long. It's like another screeching headache. There it goes again. This is unbearable. Ah. Hello, butcher. Bring me the same thing as last time. That's right. Don't bother going to the front desk. Just bring it straight to my office. All this crazy psychedelic stuff going on above his head or inside his head, really? Butcher here. 500 grams of meat, right? Just put it on that shelf. Don't tell the hospital about this now. Uh-oh. Everyone's ready, Doctor. He's literally licking blood off of his hands. Idiot, how dare you barge in on me? This is nothing. It helps me when I have a headache. It's just meat, raw meat. Funny, isn't it? I think so too. I'm a little crazy. Chapter 19. Catastrophe. It'll be chilly tonight, dear. I ran the bath extra hot. Ah, thank you. I'm exhausted from the burden I've shouldered the past year. Dr. Tatsaguara was elected, just as you had hoped. You must be very pleased. He's on his own now. Of course, I can cash in now on the favors he owes me. He'll command 1 billion yen per year. That's what I bargained on the whole time. Will you call Izumi? She's had a rough time of it. Uh-oh. Izumi? Izumi? There's a note. Clump, clump, clump. Darling. Izumi's gone. She left us a note. Gone? She ran away. How can this be? Thank you for everything. Please forgive me for setting off on my own. I received a phone call from Mr. Osanai. At that moment, I realized that I'm terribly sorry. But I can't. First Helen, now our own daughter? I'll call the police. Be strong now. Hello? Speaking. You won't believe. What? I can't take this. What is it? Who called? That was the hospital. Dr. Tatsaguara has Monmouth disease. So they realized it. He's been complaining for a while of headaches and dizziness, but I never thought. You better get over here. It'll be no use. He's being quarantined, no doubt. But I better go anyway. How could this happen now? How could you experts let this slip past you? How on earth? But Dr. Osanai, Dr. Urabe, who are the best informed on Monmouth. We don't even know what the incubation period is. Incubation period? How and when? By whom was he infected? For now, we can only assume he got it from Helen Freeze. Dr. Urabe took Helen away 2 weeks before the election, right? He must have been infected before then. The pathogen must have been transferred the last time the director examined her. That matches up almost exactly with the incubation period that he described in his presentation. But Helen had contact with Dr. Urabe and hundreds of other people. Why would only Dr. Tatsaguara contract the disease? We suppose it has to do with constitutional predisposition. You suppose? What kind of answer is that? Take me to see Dr. Tatsaguara at once. He's in isolation ward. No general visitors allowed. But I was with him until this morning. Quarantining him isn't going to do me any good. I'm going in there. Doctor? He's resting. We gave him a tranquilizer shot 2 hours ago. Till then he was making a terrible ruckus. What happens now? His x-rays don't show any skeletal deformation. You have to put a stop to this, whatever it takes. You can't let him turn into a dog face. I'll try, but all I can do is treat the symptoms. He gets up at night, in the middle of the night, just to urinate. And now the door. And now he's wondering. Director, please return to your room. No. No, I have work to do. Piles of work. You can't, please. Think of your health. I'm the chairman of the JMA. I can't stay cooped up in a sick room. Sir, the JMA just awarded the post to Dr. Kurizumi, who was the runner-up. Dr. Kurizumi? Then I've been removed from office? They had no choice, sir. As soon as they heard about your illness, the committee held an emergency board meeting. But I never consented. How dare they? I won't have this. Get the JMA on the phone. But, sir, I don't care. Call them. Hello? Is this the JMA? Please excuse me for calling at this hour. Main office, please. Here. Hello? Hello? This is the chairman speaking. Help me. Hello? 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 Give me some morphine. Come, doctor. Let's get back to your room. I don't have Monmouth disease, do you hear me? Can I ask you a favor? Can you get me Dr. Osanai and Dr. Urabe's reports on the Monmouth? Bring them here. I'd like to read them now. Understand. I'll ask the JMA for copies. Is there anything else you need? Please leave me alone for a while. What am I to do? Tagaki, Mori, Kimura, don't abandon me now. Alone on an island. How do I get to Ebisu? Don't go there. The roads are bad. The bus stop's in front of the station. Ebisu stop? Ebisu? Is the church where the foreign woman lives near here? Yes, Santa Maria. It's just up ahead. She's out on house calls just now. House calls? Yes, the swollen disease is very common here. But we've only got her. Good doctors don't come here. And if your hand offends, you cut it off. It is better for you to enter maimed into life than having 2 hands to go into Gehenna, into the fire that shall never be quenched. And if your foot offends, you cut it off. It is better for you to enter into life lame than having 2 feet to be cast into Gehenna. If your eye offends, you pluck it out. It is better for you to enter one-eyed into the kingdom of God than having 2 eyes to be cast into the hellfire. Amen, amen, amen. Are you a believer? No? Then why do you pray? We've got to pray, ma'am. Because every month somebody is getting struck down with a swelling disease. Who's it going to be this month? Ain't pollution, so no use blaming the factory. Have you ever thought about moving away? Move away? With times so hard, what we going to eat if we do? We're barely scraping by working at the factory. Does it give you comfort to pray? I don't know what it does. If someone's going to save us, God or whoever, we sure could use it. Who's there? Sister Helen Freeze. I'm Yoshinaga's daughter, fiancée of Dr. Osanai. Ah, I know the name well. Dr. Osanai was here the other day. Really? How was he? He was suffering. He wanted to speak to me. How did he look? I'm sorry. He phoned me yesterday, told me to forget about him and that he was leaving Japan. I made up my mind that night. It's been a long 1.5 years. I intend to follow him no matter what. Even if he scorns me, even if he ignores me. I've run away from my home. I was hoping that if you knew where he was, you could tell me. I don't know, he left without saying. Just the other day, Dr. Urabe and I were talking about going to Taiwan to search for him. Dr. Urabe went as far as to stage a fake engagement to me to get my parents to consent to the trip. Urabe? Yes. He too wanted very badly to find out what happened to Dr. Osanai. Well, that may convince her. What's wrong? I'm sorry. I just felt a bit dizzy for a moment. Are you all right? You must be quite tired. Sister, are you? It's Urabe's baby? Tagaki. I read Osanai's, Urabe's reports on Monmouth. Yes, and? They're simply irreconcilable with my beliefs, but are still quite well put together. They both make the same mistake. They attribute Monmouth to the ingestion of water containing a substance found in an old geological layer from the Cretaceous period. They say found upriver of Doggadale. What do you think, Tagaki? His face seems to be distorting quite a bit, getting jolly. His nose is widened. He's looking quite different. I conducted an analysis of that water at Dr. Urabe's request. He didn't find anything particularly notable. Did Urabe get the water out for you? Yes, it was from a local tonic that's made with the river water. We analyzed its components just in case. Do you still have it in the lab? I think so. Here it is. He drinks it. Is this the medical office? Please send Miss Tatsaguara to my room. Miss Tatsaguara, in the past when I complained of headaches late at night and asked you to bring me a painkiller, who prepared the medicine? I did, sir. With what? Well, I'm terribly sorry. I used traditional medicine I found on the shelf. Is this it? Yes, that's it. Okay, I recognize the taste. So you gave me the same medicine every night, right? I'm sure I worked late in my office 20 or 30 times, and each time I took the medicine you brought me. Was it this every time? Yes. Tagaki, take the remainder of the tonic and analyze it again. Thoroughly now. Use the computer. Find every last component. Use the electric microscope. Use a fine-tooth comb. The lab samples, the vials, everything, including a poor little lab mouse. And the giant supercomputer back when computers were massive, that didn't have the power of your small laptop or probably your iPhone now. Kimura, these sand particles contain a pulsing crystal. Don't be ridiculous. I've never heard of crystals that vibrate. Look, it's in the computer results. There's a gritstone that contains trace amounts of sodium and phosphorus. These are the components of the deposit. We analyzed the content in 15 or 16 bottles. But in just this one, we were able to extract traces of a substance that resembles gadolinium. They collide with each other to produce the pulse. Gadolinium, what's that? Here, look at the crystals, those bar-shaped crystals. They contain elements of yttrium and samarium. Yttrium and samarium? So what does that mean? Samarium hardly ever occurs in nature. It's a member of the rare earth group. I'm not sure I understand how that's relevant. Particulates are colliding and producing a pulse that, if it affects human cells, stimulating the endocrine gland or some other tissue, tiny amounts of the gadolinite have been discovered in Kofu City. We can't be sure that this stuff is from Dogadale is gadolinite. The results from the electric microscope. Here there is no evidence of a virus. Zero viral content. What's up, everyone? Let's go get a bite to eat. Tagaki, look at this. Zero viral content and a crystal that emits a faint pulse. What do you think? I don't know what to think anymore. If the theory that Monmao is contagious is overturned, heads are going to roll. The results still aren't in. They're taking forever. Eek! She drops the pan. She's terrified. Bastard! I must be the most miserable, wretched man on earth. My lifelong dream of becoming a chairman of JMA snatched right out of my hands. I've contracted Monmao. I can no longer even show my face in public. Well, he's finally feeling the pain that Osanai felt. Who goes there? And here he is. You are. Long time no see, Dr. Tatsaguara. Osanai, this is Quarantine Ward. Who gave you permission to come in here? Quarantine? Are you afraid I might infect you with something? Doctor, I'm sure you already realize I've come back to Japan for retribution. Retribution. Now there's an archaic word. If you want me to apologize, let's hear a compelling argument for your theory. But I've changed my mind now that I'm seeing that you're suffering the same fate. There's no point. In fact, it's painful to look at you. There's just one thing I want from you now. I want you to retract your boneheaded theory that Monmao is a virus. When you do, I'll leave and I'll never return. Oh, really? You're lecturing me now, whippersnapper. Your data is a farce. Your work is empty armchair theory. You may have bamboozled the media, but I'm not convinced. You're not convinced because you're a skeptic more than a student of medicine. Listen well, Doctor. The pathogen doesn't exist. Dr. Urabe and I, and doctors all over the world, have left no stone unturned. The virus is nowhere to be found. How can you prove that? With an electric microscope, who's to say that it shows the smallest particulates? Listen here. In the vastness of the universe, human knowledge is just a poppy seed. What we do know is that Manmao is contagious. But it isn't contagious. Fine, then tell me, why did this patient from Taiwan get Manmao when there were no previous cases of the disease over there? You infected him with those claws of yours. No. It's true, I tried to strangle Man. But don't think that's how he contracted the disease. Man. That was the patient's name? Then why not look at his chart? 2 weeks after you assaulted him, Man detected the onset of symptoms. What other possible route could there have been? For an entire month prior, he hadn't left Taipei. But before that, Man, that's right, he was on the ship. He was on the ship from Japan to Taiwan. I saw him down in the ship's hold. He'd been in Japan. Why didn't I realize it sooner? It was near Dagadale that the gang of thugs jumped me. When I came to, I was on the ship, and so was he. Maybe he visited the Zabu hot spring near Dagadale. He could have drunk the tainted water there. How do you get off drawing such arbitrary conclusions? You're convinced if you report that the water from Dagadale is a culprit behind Manmao disease, and you'll go to any links to connect A to B. They're not arbitrary. They are. You're the one who hasn't found any evidence. If nothing else, I have decades more experience than you. Aside from my titles and my reputation, I've spent 18 years studying the disease. No evidence, you say. I dare you say that again. When it comes to Man, you know next to nothing. You dare defy me? Very well. The analysis will be done any time now. Analysis of the water from Dagadale. You wanted it investigated, didn't you? They're using the computer right now to analyze a tonic made with that water. We'll have the results any moment now. You admit that the water is what causes Man now? I admit nothing. I'm simply looking into it because it's for the basis for your claim and Urabe's that Manmao is an endemic condition. You assert that you contracted Manmao from drinking water, and apparently I was drinking it too, without my knowledge. Aha! That water has already been analyzed many times, but they never found anything. This time I've ordered an exhaustive investigation. If they find any conclusive evidence pertaining to the disease, you win. I'll be a good sport and accept your theory. But even if the pathogen can't be identified, if they don't find anything unusual about that water of yours, I'll stand firmly by my virus theory. To my death. Have a seat while you wait. They should be back soon. We'll find out who's right about this. Quite an interesting confrontation. It doesn't end in violence. It's just ending in this query to find who is right. Whether a disease is contagious or endemic. Of course, we already know who's right about this one. It's about 3 minutes after 11. And now it's about 12:24. You say you came back here for vengeance. Here I am, stricken with Manmao. What you see is ordinary vengeance, you have it. I could suffer and die. You could say you've been punished and leave it at that. I've been punished and leave it at that. But instead, you just have to overturn my theory. As long as I hold my ground, your attempt at vengeance will fail. As long as I don't swallow my pride and bow down to your theory, that will never happen. It's almost 3 o'clock. They sure are taking their time. Wait, I'll get it. What? It's not from the fine medical office? Oh, it's you, Yoshinaga. No, nothing new. Any word of your daughter's whereabouts? What? Now? Would you turn that TV on, Osanai? Doctors Mannheim and Dr. von Crespel of Frankfurt University have made a conclusive discovery regarding the mysterious African disease. Like Monmal disease, the condition causes animal-like deformities in its patients, eventually resulting in death. Whether the disease is contagious or is in fact a form of poisoning has long been debated. After 3 years of thorough study, Dr. Mannheim and his associates have concluded that the disease is not infectious, but it is instead a sort of endocrine disorder accompanied by skeletal deformities caused by an accumulation of minute crystals. This was proven when the crystalline substance discovered in trace amounts in the Aborigines' drinking water was injected in the pituitary glands of several animal species. The substance is one of little-known rare earth minerals. The outcome was a gradual change in molecular structure and tissue stimulation. Of all the... Dr. Mannheim, this is outrageous. Medical circles worldwide have been rocked by this new discovery, as it seems to contradict the theory recently proposed here in Japan by Dr. Tatsaguara of M University, who maintains now that very similar Monmal disease is caused by a virus. The shockwaves have yet to subside. Moving on, an endocrine disorder. Mannheim is free to conclude whatever he likes about Kuane Kurale, but Monmal is different. A pituitary hormone disorder, ludicrous. We're still waiting for the results, Doctor. Dr. Mannheim did this just to get at me. It can't be true of Monmal disease. Dr. Tatsaguara, may we come in? The results are in. Dr. Osanai! How have you been, Takagi? Yes, enough of that. Let's see the results. No viral material, not even a trace. But there were trace amounts of unusual mineral, a rare earth mineral called samarium. Science. No, wait. This has to be some sort of mistake. Those are results of the computer analysis. There's no mistake. You already heard of Dr. Mannheim's announcement. Is that it? Dr. Mannheim's? What about? A new discovery about Kuane Kurale? Oh, right. Doctor, this package came by airmail for you this morning. It's from Dr. Mannheim. Doctor? What's wrong? Viral content 0. A rare earth element. Trace amounts of crystal in the water. Get out! Everyone get out! I said out! You lose, Doctor. No! I'm right. I will not give in. I'll never change my mind. I'll find a new pathogen. I'll show you if it's the last thing I do. No, Doctor. You've lost. Get out. Don't ever come back. And he's just left in his nightmare of transforming, his pain, his cravings for raw meat, and knowing that he was completely destroyed after all of the machinations to head the medical organization. His rival got the job and was elected, of course, and he's destroyed. And fading into insignificance, which is what he deserved. A few weeks later, as leaves fall from a tree, the director fell into a coma. We're seeing Cheyne-Stokes' respiration. He's regained consciousness. Doctor? Get back to your post. Don't neglect your work. Doctor! Mr. Yoshinaga. Sorry I caused you worry. Is Osanai still around? If you see him, tell him this for me. Nothing's black or white. Nobody ever really knows. I want you to dissect my body very carefully. It may be my last chance to expose the pathogen. He's comatose again. He may be gone for good, Mr. Yoshinaga. Why don't you have a seat and we'll call you if he wakes? All right. There goes the gamble. And even to the end, Tatsaguara wants his body dissected and determined to find pathogens in his corpse, just to prove him right in death. And the exterior of the hospital, Osanai looking on from outside, satisfied with the outcome. Got his retribution. Chapter 20, Prognosis. Huge, beautiful ship. Tazu. Reika. Urabe. Your efforts paid off. You should be proud. Look at me now. I've changed, haven't I? Urabe, did you hear about Dr. Mannheim's report? The moment I did, the dark clouds lifted from my heart. I found the courage to walk among people with my face exposed and my head held high. I'm going to see Dr. Mannheim. Urabe, we'll discuss our ideas. Then I'll go back to the village that awaits me. Pretty neat, yes. That's not all. Last night a wonderful thing happened. Are you Dr. Osanai? My name is Sekibori. I'm very pleased to meet you. I inquired after you were at M University. Dr. Takage informed me that you'd be leaving Japan tomorrow. Everyone's gathered. They want to meet you. Everyone? Could you spare us a brief visit? We'd be terribly grateful. Certainly. This must be the Young Doctors Union. This way. And they break into applause. He's finally accepted, even back in Japan. Have a seat, Doctor. Right in the very front? You're the guest of honor. This is where everyone can see you. Doctor, we too suffer from the disorders of the pituitary gland. When we read that Mamao was caused by a similar anomaly, it really hit home. We identified on a very personal level. I've had diabetes insipidus for years and years. I feel that we're fighting the same fight. Okay, it's not the Young Doctors League after all. I have Sheehan syndrome. I suffer from extreme lethargy and my skin is dry and lusterless. It's really terrible. Doctor, teach us how to overcome our afflictions, like you've done. Overcome? I'm just a regular person. I've suffered a lot. I've contemplated ending my life a number of times. We understand people with sound bodies have no idea what it's like. But you've gotten past that. We want to live boldly like you. But how? How? I don't know if there's any specific answer to that question. What's your guiding conviction? I'm not sure if there's a conviction, but there is one thing that I will never forget. Something that my late wife said to me. I asked her how she could care for me the way I looked. She told me, even with a dog's face, you're still you. It really meant a lot to me. It's given me a lot of strength. And once when I was lost in the wilderness, there was a woman with me named Reika. We found a dying baby in the desert. It was just 3 days old. There was nothing we could do for it. I felt that the most merciful thing was to kill it. I was about to strangle it. Reika asked me why, and I told her it was going to die anyway. But it's fighting so hard to stay alive, she said. I was so ashamed later. She died in an accident, but I never again considered ending my life. I'm sorry. I must be boring you. Not at all. Those are fine stories. How do you feel about yourself now? How can I put this? I feel human again. Will you continue your research into Monmouth disease? Will you tell us about your address? May we write you? The post will take around 2 months. I live in a very remote place. You know Urabe? At this point, I feel only as uneasy about my appearance as a foreigner probably does getting stared at the whole time he's in Japan. I suppose I've gained some perspective. Sort of the trail of the ship, and he's left so much behind, so much psychological damage, and now you see cherry blossoms on the trees, kind of signifying a complete renewal, new season, new happiness. Nurse, bring me water. I need to pee. Where's Helen? Helen's resting. She's going to have a baby. And this is Izumi. She's found her purpose in life now as well, working with Helen Freeze. A baby? Whose baby? Helen's gone into labor, miss? Hey, whose baby is it? Hey there. Coming at last. Will it be a puppy? Who knows? You're finally going to be a mother. Izumi, I'm frightened. Be strong, sister. God is watching over you. Big event will probably be tonight or tomorrow morning. So goes into labor. No. And terrified. What's wrong? I'm scared as a puppy. It was only a dream. Calm down. I don't want to give birth. I don't. Remember what Dr. Tagagi said. Kuine Kurale isn't contagious. You don't have to worry about passing it on to the baby. I've read a lot of books. There was one called A Mutation by Soviet author Lysenko. I have a bad feeling. Your nerves are just on the edge. All we can do is wait and see. I can only pray. Miss, you have a phone call. It's from Tokyo. I can't. Please take it. Find out, right? What's it about now? It's about a Dr. Osanai. Well, right when they say that, she goes into labor. The baby's coming. It's coming. Hurry. It's about Kirihito? And you see human feet and a human baby. How's the baby? See for yourself. And blaring sunlight of happiness. And she returned home. Izumi! Darling, it's Izumi! What? Is she back? I'm so glad you changed your mind. I'll never scold you again. I won't say a thing. I'll be leaving again, Mother. What's this? Someone was kind enough to call me. I found out where Kirihito is. Kirihito Osanai? But he's left Japan. Of course, and I'll follow him anywhere. After all, I am his fiancée. I won't permit it. You intend to leave us, Izumi? When I find Kirihito and marry him, I'll send for both of you. Don't be absurd. This is your home. When you marry, you'll live here with us. Goodbye, Mother. Izumi, I'm sorry. Do what you like, but at least give us an evening to talk it over. Don't bother. She has no respect for her parents. It's your fault for spoiling her. Don't be such a mean old harpy. She's going to get married. We can at least wish her well. He's not all bad. He's just a manipulative careerist, and none of his plans actually came to fruition. Izumi set off for the distant lands to find Kirihito. What was the future for the two of them to be? Perhaps the pages of another tale. The end. All of the incredibly disparate plot twist and the very complex plot all tied up, all very satisfyingly. Lots of sacrifices along the way. Osanai learned to care about his life and to not disrespect his very existence by committing suicide after seeing the sacrifices that Urabe made, Reika made, the baby that died in the desert, and so on and so forth. So that is the end of Ode to Kirihito. I'm very pleased I get through all of the final chapters here, and I hope that anyone that happens to listen to this at some point, maybe 4 or 5 people over the next 4 or 5 years, by all means, feel free to comment. And thanks for listening, and we'll be back later with another video about comics. So thanks again. And that was Ode to Kirihito by Osamu Tezuka. Thank you. Bye.